I met Paul after I graduated from high school. He was the kindest, dearest person that I had ever met. He came from a large family. He was just starting the record business, Camelot. It was Stark Record first, then it became Camelot.
The fact that my father was away from home quite a bit when I was much younger, trying to make a company actually work, and all that responsibility of home life was placed on my mom, who was amazing at it.
One of Paul's brother, John David, was in Paul Brown's class. And John David was Paul Brown's water boy. He offered Johnny a scholarship, 4-year scholarship, to go to college. And Johnny had to turn the scholarship down because he had to go to work to help the family. And that's why my husband and I made scholarships available to all children of all the schools in Stark County. Paul and I felt that education was very important, and this is the purpose of having the Paul and Carol David Foundation.
Being Paul's attorney, I spent a good deal of time with him talking over business matters and so forth. He always expressed an interest in trying to help young people in education. And so we decided that the appropriate way to do that at that point in time was to form a foundation to fund scholarships for young people to go to college.
My dad always committed to, if he ever had the opportunity to pay forward or give back, that he would do that. And he would do that primarily in the form of education, because him and his 12 other siblings didn't have that opportunity.
He was an extremely smart man in his business and in his relationships. But I think he always saw that what he didn't have a chance to do was important to growing people. So he settled on the scholarships. He said, look, this is where we're going to help people. We're going to start with young kids and we're going to educate them.
From its infancy to 2, 3, or 4, or 5 scholarships from 2 schools, now into upwards of 50 or 60 annually. That's quite a growth factor, to the point where it's become, I believe, the most meaningful scholarship in our county, if not the state of Ohio. So the scholarship review process is both subjective and objective. It's not any one thing. It's a collective process that incorporates grade point averages, test scores, teacher evaluations. But at the very heart of that review process is the essay pieces. You peer into these young people's lives in ways that you never anticipated.
As a young woman growing up, I did not have the opportunity to get an education. We are in a position to give back, and this is what we want to do. If they want to go to school, they should apply for the Paul and Carol David Scholarship.
One of the delights, I think, of being a trustee is seeing the letters from the students that have benefited from the scholarships. They're very touching. Then you see how it has made a change in these people's life. You really feel like you're making a bit of a difference, and there's no question, but over the course of years, this foundation's made a huge difference.
I ended up in the ER, and then I was admitted into the hospital. And one of our students who had finished her scholarship and became a nurse was my nurse in the hospital. And it was such a thrill to know that we had educated this young woman. And it was just an experience that I never thought I would ever see.
This scholarship allowed me to attend college and fulfill my dream of becoming a nurse. There will never be the right words to express how gracious I am for everything the foundation has done for me.
I've never seen someone walk in and embrace my mom, explain to her what the scholarship program had done for her. They had embraced, they hugged. That moment alone, when I stood back and watched this exchange, I thought to myself, we are really doing good.
If he was here today, Paul would be thrilled. He would love every part of it.
If he could look at those pictures on the wall in the foundation office and see the number of people that had benefited from this, I think he'd be very pleased.
I hope that every one of our recipients recognize that someone along the way was there for them, and if given that same opportunity, they'll be there for someone else someday.